Warning, if you're about to watch this video, it has bad language and other remarks in it that are quite rude. So if you have innocent ears around, now's your time to turn off or go watch this in private. You've been warned. So, up there somewhere, oh, you'll never see because I've got everything in the road. Up in there is a spanner, and this is attached to what's left of the pivot point of the clutch fork. And if I can't get the new one in, new one, second hand one out of a gearbox I'm yet to remove from another vehicle tonight, because I got tomorrow off and I've got things planned for tomorrow. If I can't get the new one in, then I have to remove gearbox. So let's hope, because then we're back seating again come Monday. So yeah, it's been an eventfully fucked up day. Anyway, out for now. That there is my pivot point for the clutch fork. So let's hope I can get that out of another gearbox quickly and try and feed it back through the clutch fork hole and then get the clutch fork back on. And then I still got to doctor up this. We'll use another one because it's got a burr inside because it popped that out. We'll pop that out sideways. And well, obviously it tried to push itself back in on the way to the clutch and put a burr up the inside. I either fix it or I just pinch one off of another one. Oh, I've got another one, I'll pinch another one. So somehow I have to realign. Look at that, the LEDs mess with the camera. I have to realign. Oh, I better not lose that spring. My clutch fork and push it on just right, and then screw that into that. No, right there. Right there is the thing. So yeah, there's a thread for it. There was a spacing washer that came out with it, but it fell into the bell housing, so I don't know. If I put it back in, I know it's about standard spring washer size, so it'll be alright. I'll find one. That one can float around in there. It should only sit on the bottom. See if I can feel around in there for it first. Stick some fingers in some holes. See what I find. And this is the second hand new one that robbed out of another gearbox. Oh man, let's see how it goes, because it's got to go back up in there. Right there. I don't know how, but anyway. So I guess I should mention at some point, I'll try and add this in the right section, that whilst trying to get it started, the thread started on the pivot point, I dropped it in the bell housing and couldn't reach it. Couldn't even see it, couldn't even find it, couldn't find my magnetic thing to pull it out, so I gave up. Pulled the gearbox off. Right, well I'm at the point of... Oh, straw, I thought it was a spider in the camera. I was about ready to freak out. Point of, I'm going to put something under the sump here to wedge it up. Maybe a chainsaw wedge. And I reckon I can lift it out myself, I hope. I hope. I've got another one to lift in that's in better nick. That's only bonus from doing this now. The only bonus. Only bonus is the fact that this gearbox is full of metal and isn't that flash. Because I hit reverse at 100 k's an hour because the gate didn't work from fifth. And I actually got reverse and dragged the back wheels. But it grinded, and before I could let it go, it found reverse. So I did a fifth of reverse key at 100 k's an hour on dirt road. And it's gone downhill since then because the metal filings in the oil weren't all collected by the magnet. There's just a colossal magnitude of metal filings in there that the magnet can't deal with, so they've stuffed all the bearings up. And the one that's in the other ute should be in better nick, so the oil that's come out of it, because I did try and get that pivot point, but I've dropped the pivot point in there. So yeah, I think the neighbours could hear me. I was livid, thrilled, pleased to say the least. Yeah, so I think the neighbours heard me. Probably lucky they didn't call the cops, because they probably thought I was trying to murder somebody. It's only taken about an hour to get it to this point. So yeah, enough talking, more doing. This is why I want to use the other gearbox. So I kind of thought the oil out of this one would be black. The other one's still clear. You know, it's ready to lift off, lift out. I might just see if I can undo the gearbox and drain it. There was bugs already in that box. In that esky that recycled into a drain thing. But yeah. Dying. Oh, far out. Good time to inspect the wear on me crutch. Crutch, clutch, whatever. I just, you know, like to mix things up a little bit. So what do we got here? So it's done 400,000, and I put this in at 190 something. So it's done 200,000 this clutch. Just over. There's actually meat left on it. I ain't changing it. I do have one, but I ain't changing it. It's even the fingers look pretty good. In fact, the fingers look really nice. There's not much wear on the end of there. This thing gets abused, don't forget that for a moment. You know, like, it cops every bit. Look, there's a chainsaw wedge in there. I said I'd use one. It was only just enough, I tell you. There's not much wear there. This clutch is that heavy. This is probably not quite double the normal rate. So it's probably no wonder that thing broke. So anyway, there's the old box. There's the oil out of it. Did I replace this last time? I reckon I did. Because we're like, oh, I was not gonna. I reckon old man talked me into it. I was crook when this clutch went in. I was having all those gut pains, and no doctor in the world could work out what was wrong with me. Ooh, very nice, high five. So, was there any damage from it banging around? No. It wasn't actually that banging around, it was this hitting. Oops, I just dropped something. This is my original clutch fork. It's original to the vehicle. It's dry. That's why it creaked, that's not why it broke. Well, maybe it's a contributing factor. Where's the new part? That's the new part right there. Well, that's the one that came out of the gearbox I'm going to put in. I dropped that in the bell housing. Swore loud enough that the neighbours heard. I would say they heard. I swore pretty loud. I cut loose. I was livid. Anyway, I'll put that back in the other gearbox and try and get the other gearbox in here tonight. It took me 2 hours to do this, to get this out, and I had to move the Bluebird. I'm thinking about not putting that starter motor back in too, because that's got a stupid dicky Bendix. It goes grrr, grrr a few times before you turn it over. And the solenoid's hard up against the block. So I'm thinking about changing that out too. I feel like I'm halfway here. Alright, out for now. As I should document this, I got this fixator on. I'm actually cooking my guts away under here, it's actually quite warm. Box number 2 is in. Well, no, it's not done up. I have 3 bolts in it. And then I gotta go cross member, this, that, starter motor, which I'm gonna change. Because I'm halfway there, so I might as well do it, because I'm sick of this one going grrr, grrr. Now what I did do is I put the output shaft in. I jammed the gear lever in it. It's not in properly, but it's in it. Whacked it into a gear, so I get the splines to line up, and then it just slipped on in. Because it was all centered already, but due to the fact that it's not a new installation, it's a second-hand installation, so the clutch is already lined up to where it should be running. So yeah. Then master cylinders aren't real flash. Master slaves. I'm getting confused, I'm addled. But this is the one off the wreck in the shed, and you can't see and I can't see, and neither of us can really see. Tamara cleaned that out, so it was full of crud. So hopefully that one works, because I'm not going to machine the other one. If it fails, I'll get the one off the other ute that's out in the yard temporarily. Don't think I've got any others I could rat off of, unless I got a bluebird I can steal one off of. Where would I have one of those? Probably in my scrap yard. Yeah. Yeah, I would. Pity, because that was only a new one. It's only 2-3 years old. The one I took out of it was genuine to replace with this one. Actually, tell a lie. This is the genuine one. That's the other one. I bought a Chinese knockoff. Used this piston and seal because when they drilled the bleeder hole, they didn't square it all up, and you couldn't tighten the bleeder tight enough to stop it from bleeding oil out. So that's my old housing with aftermarket internals. All for that. Well, at least I should have a good gearbox, because this one was starting to whine in first gear. Alrighty. Back to it. Well, it lives again. That's all I've got left to do. I'll do that this afternoon when I get home. We're going out. Oh, that, and I really want to put another clutch slave cylinder in it, because I don't like that one that's in there. It's losing its prime a bit. It's getting air in it. So she takes a lick and keeps on ticking. This gearbox, I'm not too sure about this box. It is better than mine, or the original one that came out of it. Only because it doesn't have the metal floating around. But I'm a little skeptical on second gear synchro. I reckon that they must have gave it more of a hard time than what I've given mine, because they must have pulled a fair few skids in it before they shot the thing to pieces, because it came out of that ute that was shot up, but it's functional. So for now, as long as that clutch pivot point don't break. The only reason I got for it is that the thing must be just because my clutch is so heavy, because like it's heavy. It's hydraulic and it's heavy. So yeah, and I can't remember the rate of pounds it was supposed to be, but yeah.